viewers, you are welcome to my channel. If this is your first time running into the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, subscribe to this channel so that you'll be able to get updates each time we upload a new video. Today in this video, we're going to be drafting a pattern for Bobo jumpsuit for an 11-year-old girl. So I have my pattern paper here, I have my tape rule, I have my ruler, my hammer cuff, and my pencil. Then I have my eraser as well. These are the things I'm going to be using to draft this pattern. So on my pattern paper right now, I've done some drafting there in order to, so that this video will not be too long. I have my shoulder line, I have the chest point, I have the bust, I have waist, then I have the crotch, then the length of my jumpsuit. So the measurement I'm working with is that of an 11-year-old. So on this pattern paper, I've done my basic bodies. I've tried to draft my basic bodies. From this end, from the end of my paper, I left a space of 5 inches from the edge of the paper in order to be able to draft my front and back together on the same pattern. So I squared it down. You can see it. I squared it down. Then from this end, from here to this point, my the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 15. When I divide it into 2, I have 7.5, and I mark my neck width, which is 3 inches. Then I dropped my shoulder half inches because I'm drafting for a little girl. So I dropped my shoulder half inch, then I extended it to the measurement to where I want my sleeve to get to, which is 15 inches. Now I have my chest line, that's like half of my armhole. That's what I have here. Then I have the bust line, then I have the waistline. From the shoulder to the waist is 14 inches. Then I have my crotch line. How did I get my crotch line? From my waist measurement, I'll divide my hip measurement divided by 4. I have 7.5. So because what I'm the jumpsuit I'm making is a very free one, so I added 3 inches to my hip measurement. Then that's how I got my crotch depth. So I hope that is very clear. That's my crotch depth. So now let me go ahead with my drafting. So on the bust measurement I'm working with is 28. 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inches. So I'm going to be marking the 7 inches. Then I'm going to add 1 inch to the 7 inches because it's going to be a loose garment. So I'm adding 1 inch to the 7 inches, which I'm marking here. Then I'll go to the waist. The waist measurement is 25. If I divide my 25 by 4, I have 6.25. So I'm going to add 0.5 to my 6.25 because I want the jumpsuit to be a bit loose. So I'm going to add 0.5 to, so I'm marking 6.5 as my waist measurement. Now the hip measurement that I'm working with is 30 inches. 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7. So 30 inches, my hip measurement is 30 inches. 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5. So I'm going to add 0.5 to the 7.5 to make it 8 inches because I want it to be a loose garment. So I mark my 8 inches on my hip line. Then I take the same measurement to my crotch line. Then I take it down to the hem line, the same 8 inches. So now I'm going to connect all these dots together. I'm going to connect them together. So I'm going to connect my bust to the waist. Then I connect it to the hip. Then I take it down to the hem. can see my pattern is taking shape gradually. So now I want to do my crotch extension. For me to get my crotch extension, I'm going to I'm going to take the measurement of what I have here, which is 8 inches. Then I'm going to divide it into 4. So that will give me 2 inches. So I'm going to extend my front crotch with 2 inches this way. So you can see my extension this way. So after doing that, then I'll now connect it. I'll connect it with a curve ruler. You can see it. You can see what I'm doing. That's my crotch extension for the front. Like I said from the beginning, I'm going to be drafting both the front and the back on this paper. So on this same paper, I want to get my back crotch. So I'm going to measure this front crotch, which is 2 inches. So I'm going to extend it by 2 inches as well for the back crotch. So that's it. So I'm going to connect this as well. I'm going to connect it as well. So I have my front and my back. This is my front crotch, and this is the back crotch. So I'm going to extend both points to the hem line. So I'm going to extend my front like so. And I'm going to extend the back as well to the hemline. So let me go back to the upper part of my pattern. So here, from my bust point here, I'm going to, because I want to draft the bodice and the sleeve together. So I don't want to separate the sleeve. So for this reason, I'm going to measure from this shoulder line. I'm going to measure like 8 inches. I'm going to measure 8 inches. Then I'm going to come in from that point, from that 8 inches. I'm going to come in like 1 inch. Then I'll connect this way. So I'm going to use my armhole ruler to connect my bodice to it. Sorry. I'm going to connect it. Let me use my hand to create the curve. So you can see the curve. So I've created it. So I'm going to blend all these points so that I will not have any sharp edge. So this is it. Then I'll come to the upper part here. I'm going to do 3 inches as the depth of my neck. I'm also leaving it at 3 for the width. So I'll use my curve to connect it. This for the front. For the back neckline, I'm going to do 1 inch, and the depth will still remain the same, which is 3 inches. So So I'll connect it this way. I'm going to add 1.5 inches as zipper allowance for the back pattern. This is my zipper allowance, and it's going to end here. So remember to add your sewing allowance in order not to sew into your measurements. So you can see how beautiful my pattern is, because it's going to be a three-quarter jumpsuit for her. So you can see how beautiful it looks. So I have both the front and the back pattern together. Let me lift it up so that you can see what I have. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. I'll just go ahead and cut it out. I'll go ahead and cut it out. So then we'll go ahead and place this on our fabric and cut it. Okay, I've placed my back pattern now. I want to cut my back. You can see how it looks. So I'm going to cut it on fabric. So I'm done cutting my back now. You can see it, the way it looks. So I'm going to use this same pattern to cut my front. So I'm going to show you how to cut my front now. Remember when I was drafting, I said I marked back crotch extension and the front crotch extension together. So what I'm going to do now is to take out my back crotch. So I'm going to take it out from here. I'm taking out my back. So I've taken out my back extension. Also, I'm going to take out my neck. I'm going to cut the front neck depth. So now, what I have left now is my front. So I'm going to place the front also on the fabric and cut as well. So I'm going to remove this one. Okay, I've placed my front as well. I've added all my sewing allowance. So I'm going to be cutting it out. I have my front and my back. I'll take it to the sewing machine and join it together, and we'll have our beautiful. So I'll come back and show us how it looks after joining. Okay, let me explain how the joining is going to look like. So this is my back piece. So I'm going to join my crotch just from here down to this place. I'm not going to join the leg. I'm just going to join only the crotch, because this is my zipper allowance which I'll be taking in. Then for the front, I'm going to join it all the way from the top. Let me pin it the way I'm going to join it. Okay, this is my center front now. So this is what I'm joining. I'm going to join it all the way from the top like this. So let me pin it the way I'm going to join it, so that you find it difficult when you are trying your own. So I'm going to pin it all the way. I'm going to join it from the toe to my crotch. So it's going to stop here at my crotch. So you can see it. It's looking beautiful already. Ooh, wow. You can see it. This is I'm going to pin it as well. I'm going to pin the crotch. Ooh, I'm so excited already. Zip. So this is what it's going to look like. You can see it. You can see my blue. I can't wait to go and join this. Let me join it on it. I'll come and show us what it looks like. This is the final look of our jumpsuit. You can see how beautiful it looks on her. Looking so perfect. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time in our next video.